Hello and welcome to YMT 211, Discrete Mathematics. This is your instructor Malik Harbawi, and I'll be covering the course for the fall semester 2020-2021. And this is an orientation class. We will just speak about the policy to be followed, the textbooks and so on. I believe some of you are with me in other courses, and you must have gone through some of the very similar orientations that I give. However, some of you may just take this course, so bear it with me. If you are familiar with my method, no problem, just skip to the part that you want, like the topics, the weekly topics, or the evaluation, or grading. Or if you are not interested in orientation, you are familiar with me, just skip whole orientation and go to the class of the next video. Communication, how can you contact me? You can use the distance education environment, you can email me, and we will be having also live sessions, so you can have a live discussion during these live sessions. And I would like to tell you that you must attend these live sessions, or at least 50% of them. I would highly recommend that you attend all of them, but for some reason you must attend at least 50% of them. Otherwise you would be dropped from the course due to the absenteeism. So you should actually attend at least 50% of the live sessions. How many of the live sessions are we going to have? At least 5 weeks will be conducted in live session way in both the theoretical, so we have the theoretical and also we have the practical, the tutorial for discrete mathematics. We will not have much of computer programs in discrete mathematics. We will have though, but not too much. We will just try to solve questions and have like tutorial sessions for practice. So these are the ideas. So live sessions will be there, we can communicate through them, we can discuss in a live way like we're having a classroom, but in virtual world or distance education environment. You can call me, but please, again, I always say this again and again, try to call my phone not during my class time. So check my schedule and avoid the class time so that we don't get disturbed. Usually I unplug the phone during the class sessions, the live sessions. I would be actually not willing to receive calls during the live sessions. However, if I forget or for some reason I do not unplug it, we will disturb our session by receiving these calls. So I expect from you not to call my landline during the live sessions. Okay, for the textbook, what kind of textbooks or resources are we going to use or to have? Actually, I mainly use Discrete Mathematics and Its Applications by Kenneth Rosen. This is a very good book for you as a student and also for me as an educator. It's actually great, well summarized and written. It presents the information in a nice way, easy to learn from it, easy to teach it even. There are a lot of questions after each chapter, actually after each section, not chapter even. And that's why this book is really preferred. I would mainly use it. There are other editions you can use. I'm using this 8th edition. You can use also earlier editions if available. Is it a must? Is it compulsory? I would say no, as always. You can follow up with me in both theoretical and tutorial sessions, and you can take notes, you can check from internet, other resources, there is no problem. However, this is a great book to own for a student and also for an instructor. These 2 other books are extra. This one actually for some computation examples. So if you would like to go through them or have a look, that also could be good for you if you want to expand your knowledge, if you want to further read some topics. However, I would just refer to them by myself from time to time and get you some examples and some experiments if needed or tutorial if needed. So we move on, grading. This is extremely important for you as a student. So it determines what you actually require to do in order for you to pass the course, or what's required for you to do to get A or to get B or whatever you are aiming at. Okay, so we're going to have assignments, 4 to 5 assignments composing 25%. What kind of assignments? Actually, these assignments would be within the level of what we explained, but usually with a bit more concentrated ideas. Why? During the class time, we have a very limited period. So if we want to explain very concentrated questions, we can have 1 or 2 max. But for assignments, you have plenty of time. You should train yourself. So you would get like maybe some more advanced questions, combining different topics all together. Yes, so you should expect a bit harder questions. You will have all the materials and time you need to solve them. And they will be training you actually for the sort of questions in the final. For sure, the assignments will be harder than the final exam. So if you solve assignments, you will actually manage to get through the final exam with no problem. How about quizzes? Quizzes will be easier. The level of the questions we usually explain during the classes or easier. Whatever type of questions we may even come across during the class, or maybe there will be multiple choice, fill in the gap, or subjective, like, you know, solving questions. All these will be available in quizzes. In quizzes, I would like to see you by camera, so get your camera ready. Whatever camera, buy the cheapest if you don't own one, or use your phone so that we will see you, to make sure that you are the one who's answering and you don't have anyone around you helping you out with these questions. Final exam will be similar to the assignments and the quizzes. There will be not much of changes. The range of questions will be from easy to average. So as much actually as you perform in assignments and quizzes, your final exam will have a score based on that. So the higher you work for assignments and quizzes, the better your score in the final exam will be. Now, one thing I have to say, I'm not quite sure about the policy of our university or faculty board regarding the midterm. If they let us decide for the evaluation of the midterm, I'll just use assignments and quizzes and skip the midterm. If they enforce the use of midterm, I would just lower the wages of the assignments and quizzes and insert midterm somewhere. So based on that, we may have a modification of the available evaluation schemes. Classes and notes, where will you get these classes and videos? So the class notes, PowerPoint, and the tutorial also, whatever related to the course, you can get it from the distance education environment, ue.vrad.edu.tr. So for also the live session, you should actually follow up from your page there. There will be declaration in advance. We have to announce about them in advance, so you will have time to learn about the live or the next live session or live class. The videos I'll upload, actually I'm not going to upload them to this distance education because they said, I think there is like somehow limited capacity. We have a huge number of students and courses, so for that reason we're going to upload them to YouTube. I have my own channel. If you want to subscribe to it, you're welcome, but if you don't like that, or if you are not interested, you can just watch the videos from your distance education. Why? Because I'll just embed these videos in the distance education. I'll just bring their links from YouTube to distance education. You can directly watch them from there. All right. One thing I would like to say, the attendance of live sessions is made compulsory, so make sure to attend at least 50% of the live session. So I keep repeating this all the time. Why? Because it matters usually with students pass and fail. You may drop out from the course due to the attendance, and this is a policy of our university, not my own policy. We have just to follow it, bind with it. Whether you agree or not with that policy, that's not the point. The point is we have a policy to follow, and in this case, attendance is compulsory, so you need to obey the rule in this sense. All right, what kind of topics are we going to have or to go through? We will have just a simple introduction about the course. Actually, this one could be the introduction or the orientation. Then we will have the fundamental and principle of counting, and this would be a chapter. Actually, you guys have studied the principles of counting during the high school, but we will give a little bit more advanced topics or points. We'll speak about logic, and then we'll speak about set theory, mathematical induction. Until here, actually, these are basics. A little bit the induction has its own unique formula, but sets you are already familiar with them. Also, relations and functions. You guys are familiar with those, but we will actually investigate or actually discuss relatively advanced topics. Now, finite state machines, I would say they are new to you, and they represent a very critical topic in discrete mathematics and actually in your field, software engineering, computer engineering, or relevant departments. Also, the principle of inclusion and exclusion we will cover. There is no midterm. This is we need to skip it. I didn't remove it. This was from the previous syllabus. So ignore the midterm. I'm not going to have it now unless it is determined that we should have it. We will discuss generating functions, recurrence relation, and graph theory. These topics are actually abstract. Inside of them, there are different sections and different points to discuss, and we will dedicate all our semester to these topics to investigate. So that's it actually for the orientation. Please hold your patience until I upload the first chapter, Principles of Counting. Until then, have a good time. Goodbye.